Okay, hi everybody. If I did everything correctly, I think we should be live, but I don't know. Let me check. Okay, I think we're live. Yes, we are. Hi everyone. I hope you're doing well. So, what we're going to do today is the following. Hold on. Yeah, okay. So, I saw one of those animation memes of the song Guess by Charlie, and I thought it was very nice, and I wanted to do one for the Rose Garden Shack, and so I started drawing it, and then I thought, oh, okay, I thought, why not do a live stream while I do it, and so we can chat, right? And while I animate it, you guys can send your questions or whatever you want, and I'll be answering. And yeah, so that's it. Okay, so, and I'm very new to this thing. Okay, I only did one other live stream a while ago. It's actually it ended up being pretty fun. So like you should watch it. Oh my god, hi. There's people. Okay. But this is my second time ever using OBS or like making a live stream at all. So I don't know how it's gonna go. But I'm gonna try my best. The other thing that I had in mind was that I wanted to do a live stream where I would be making the the character sheets where you grab a character and you write everything about them, their age, their heights, and everything. And I wanted to make one of those because I still haven't made one of those. That's surprising. I wanted to make one of those, but like live, so that we could all you guys could also like throw in your headcanons and we could build it up together, right? But I mean, we can do that later. But I still don't have, I have to find a character sheet that we can fill. So yeah, maybe next week, who knows? Because I remember a streamer, well, she's a YouTuber actually, that I really liked when I was like 12. That she had her own web series, and she did that. And then I was present for one of those, and it was absolutely magic. Oh, hold on, I don't remember if I was there or if I watched it afterwards, but either ways, it was beautiful. It was awesome. I don't think you guys are gonna know her because she's like Hispanic. But that show. Oh, somebody said something. Yeah, she's very nice. Five Nights at Freddy's High School. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. That show was one of the shows that really shaped my art style and my writing style as well. And actually any type of media that I consumed when I was, say, 11, 12, 13, shaped who I am today. I think I am a mix of yours truly by Ariana Grande, Teen Titans Go, Steven Universe, I don't even know what I'm saying. So anyways, do you guys have any questions about the pilot, about anything else, about the characters, about the series, what it's going to look like? Because honestly, this is one of the like right now, this moment writing wise is one of the most interesting, because I am still like outlining the first season. I'm still planning it out. Hi. That's so nice. I'm still planning out the first season, but like the very first outline, right? So anything could change at this moment. Like there's so many different possibilities. Which it's you gotta have your own set of like rules and stuff too, that you stick to. That hair wasn't supposed to be there. So that you don't get overwhelmed, right? Because there's so many possibilities. I like to, when I write stories, I like to plan them like a lot, like very detailed before I start like actually writing them. So I need to like see the whole skeleton, and I need to know pretty much everything that's going to happen before I start writing. So that's kind of what I'm building right now. But it's like still very malleable, and I don't know, maybe someday, maybe like today, I come up with something completely different that wasn't planned, but at this point I can add it. So yeah, this is the point at which I have to trust myself the most. I'm not watching the chat. Let me see. Oh my god. I wasn't always like, I remember the first few stories, because I don't know if you guys know, I posted it once on YouTube Shorts, but it was a while ago. This is not like, the Rose Garden Shack is not the first pilot that I ever tried to make. In fact, I pretty much like every year I come up with like an average of like maybe 4 or 5 cartoon series, but well, most of them never make the cut because I have so many ideas, and only like the very good ones are the ones that I'm gonna be giving any attention to, right? So the Rose Garden Shack is actually my 5th ever pilot that I ever made. Well, it's the first one that I've started and finished, because I used to be a bit of a self-sabotager. I used to be a bit of a too much of a perfectionist when it came to writing, and I would start a project and I would actually like get very close to finishing it, and then I would look at it like at the very end, and I'd be like, like nobody's gonna like it, and I would like leave it and never touch it again, you know, which is a shame, because some of the projects that I used to make, they were actually not bad. But well, I was trying to get somewhere. Yeah, the Rose Garden Shack is the only project ever so far that I did while I was like when I had changed my writing style into something like way more planned and less, because before I used to like just come up with whatever. I used to like just sit down and write, but not really plan anything out, which maybe I need to go and do that again a little bit. But it seems to have worked. I don't even know what I'm saying, guys. Anyways, yeah, I found Abby Emmons' channel on like maybe 2020, 2019, I don't remember. And at that point was when I discovered the 3-act story structure. I mean, I had always known it. I had always known of its existence, but I had never really like known it was that interesting, right? Actually, I'm spoiling a video that I'm making about the 3-act story structure, so I'm not gonna talk about this anymore because yeah, I'm spoiling a video. Okay, anyways, do you guys have any questions? Because I don't know what to. I didn't plan anything. Like, I'm home alone today, and so I came up with, and I was making this like the guess animation, and I was like, hey, why don't we go live? But I didn't really plan anything out. Do you guys like Charlie XCX, by the way? Oh my god. What do you guys listen to, by the way? Do you guys listen to Sabrina Carpenter? She's really awesome. Oh, I know what I can talk about. Yeah, did you guys know? I said it a million times, but I'm gonna say it again. Did you guys know that Innocentia was based on Sabrina Carpenter? But very, very briefly. I mean, like, she changed a lot from that point to the present day, but yeah, she okay, I'm gonna tell this story one more time because it's funny. I was writing Sabrina Carpenter and Olivia Rodrigo fanfic of like, I don't remember if it was like rivals to lovers. I just, there was so much potential. Okay, I never posted it anywhere, by the way. And then my boyfriend showed me Has-Been Hotel. I had never watched it, and then I decided to like turn Sabrina and Olivia from the fanfic into Has-Been Sonas. Should I keep telling this story? Because I have told it like 5 different times. And well, that's how I came up with Zay and Innocentia. that's the origin story. And I don't remember how I actually like came up with the story itself, you know. But I really liked, I wasn't really happy about the whole show. I really liked the idea of the dynamic of like the, how to explain, the basically the fact that Zay used the fact that like there was a human living in her house as leverage to like try to get her banned. I remember when I came up with that piece of the story, I was like, oh my god, I'm clever. and then I wrote it, and that's the only part that I liked. But it was interesting. Hi guys. You guys are so nice. So where was I trying to get anyways with this story? I don't know. Do you guys okay, I have a question for you guys. Is anybody writing their own stories, or does anybody have like OCs or that kind of stuff? Or do you guys just like watch the cartoons, or do you also make the cartoons? I remember like my first OC, I think I created it when I was like 10, 11, I don't know. I was probably 11, and it was a Teen Titans Go OC. Yup, like you make your own characters. Can you tell me about them? Can you tell me about your story? That's interesting. I always love to hear about people's OCs. Anyways, the one OC that I made for the Teen Titans Go when I was like 11 was Elastigirl. Like I stole the name from the movie, and she was a self-insert. Simpler times back then. And then I don't know what I remember, like, well, I don't remember, right? Because I don't remember because I was like 8 or 9. No, I don't know. But I used to self-insert a lot in, like, I have proof. I have comics that I used to write when I was like 8, and I used to self-insert in, say, Pocoyo and Puka. Do you guys watch that one? Do you guys watch that one? That was a good show. That one. I have a world base on another planet. The heart doesn't let me read it. With magic and cool creatures. Oh my god, that sounds so interesting. I always love the stories that take place in other planets. That's so cool. Do you used to watch Voltron? That's where my mind went when you say other planets. How many of you guys watch Voltron? That was a crazy time for the internet as a whole, and for artists. Like the art that you would post on the internet was so specific back then. It was so fun. Pizza. Yeah. How long ago was Voltron, by the way? Because it wasn't in 2017. It was when I was 17, and that's why I'm thinking it was 2017, but it was, I'm sure it was later than that. Anyways, guys, what are some shows that you used to really like? Maybe as a kid or I don't know, at all, you know? Cartoon shows. Because I'm thinking about it, like, pretty much all of the shows that I've really liked are cartoons. The only one that's a show with real people that I like really, really, really liked is Cobra Kai. But that's an outlier. That I don't know. I have no idea why I liked that one, because it's not normally what I would watch. But it was fun. That one. Okay, that was also a fun time for the internet. Ninjago. My brother used to watch that one. I watched a little bit, and actually, you know what? The MC for that one looks just like the MC of Cobra Kai, but not in Cobra Kai, but in the Karate Kid. They have the same haircut. Yeah, my brother used to be a big fan when he was little. Then another thing, okay, I'm trying to go through the timeline of shows that I really liked. So, first one, like, the earliest one that I can think of, Puka. Yeah. And then, Phineas and Ferb. Those were when I was, like, very little. Then, when I started actually, like, getting, like, really into cartoons and I started like understanding the world and gaining a consciousness, I really liked, well, I've said it like 5 times, Teen Titans Go. I really liked Steven Universe, Regular Show, Gravity Falls, which one else? I'm sure I'm missing a few. Well, Adventure Time, all of those. And then I was obsessed with Miraculous Ladybug. What are you saying? I don't speak French. If you write in Spanish, I understand Spanish, but French, I used to want to speak, to learn French. I said that I was gonna learn, but I said, first, I'm gonna learn Russian. And I said, I'm not gonna go learn, like at a class. I'm gonna learn on my own, with the internet. I tend to have too much confidence in myself for that kind of stuff. Like, I come up with something, I'm gonna break the world record for making the tallest cake in the world, right? And I believe that I can do that. No, I was learning for like 2 years Russian on my own. I don't know why Russian. I don't know why I picked Russian. I think I picked it because it sounded difficult, and I was like, no, if I learn it, that's gonna be so cool. Because like, say Portuguese, that one's easy to learn, but Russian, it's gonna be impressive. And I left it, forgot about it. But I can say some words. I can count to 10. I can, no, basically what I was getting, I was going to learn French after I finished learning Russian, which never happened, so it never happened. Oh, you also like writing? That's nice. What do you write? What genre do you write? I don't know what genre I write. Is it like fantasy, comedy? I always wished that I could become like, I mean, a comedian is not the word, because I don't want to be like a stand-up comedian, you know? But I want to write funny stuff. Like, that was always what I was aiming for. Ever since I started writing. And I also use like a lot of like fantasy elements, I guess. Well, I'm currently, I don't know if I should say it, but because it's meant to be like a surprise, but whatever. I'm working on a show. Anyways, it's a really like, it's very early, right? It's not like, I'm still just outlining it as well, but it's about superheroes. So, and I'm planning on doing that one, or like posting that pilot in maybe 3 years from now. And well, by that time, I'm assuming that the Rose Garden Shack will be over, because I'm planning to give it 2 seasons. So like, the first season like is from the beginning up until the midpoint, and then the second one would be from the midpoint up until the end, right? And also that's gonna be pretty interesting to make a pilot in 3 years, because I am just starting animation school. Like, I have never gone to animation school, so my guess is that in 3 years, which is the time that it's supposedly going to take me to graduate as an animator, I'm gonna animate much better, hopefully, and so the pilot is gonna look much more professional, hopefully, right? I'm excited about that, and I'm nervous because I'm starting today in less than a week, because I'm starting next Tuesday, and I don't know how that's gonna go, but I mean, I think it's gonna go well, right? Hopefully. Anybody say anything? Oh my god. So yeah, what was I saying? Yeah. Okay, so I was really obsessed with Miraculous Ladybug at some point. When I was maybe 13, I don't know. And I would make drawings and paste them all over my walls. And I hadn't discovered fanfics yet. Which is crazy. Like me not reading fanfics. I hadn't discovered fanfics yet. But I was like very deep into fandom spaces for the first time in my life. I also didn't know about that. Actually, I'm not really sure that fandom spaces were a thing before Miraculous, like before that point in time. Cause that was I don't know, I'm very bad with like years and dates, but maybe 2013, 2014. So the internet was a thing before then, right? In the I'm assuming 1990 somethings. But at one point was Emino created? Is what I want to know. I don't know. But like I was deep in the fandom spaces. Actually, it was the first time that I ever did like something, like the first time that I started posting stuff online. And I used to have a Miraculous fan account, and I don't know how I did it, but I reached 1,000 subscribers in there when I was in the fandom, which is crazy because I wasn't really posting quality stuff at that point, but I don't know, I guess we were all like kids and we like the same type of content. Like mostly like what I started doing was just googling the names of the characters, like Chat Noir, right? I would google Chat Noir and then I would screenshot a picture and then I would post it on Instagram, and I wouldn't do any hashtags, anything, you know. So I have no idea how I got 1,000 subscribers on there, but it was very fun. And after Miraculous Ladybug, the next one, I already talked about this one, Five Nights at Freddy's High School, which I don't think you guys know this one, but it was crazy. I'm gonna say it again, it was a crazy time for the internet. And at that point I was like still very into fandom spaces, and what I was gonna say something and I forgot. Oh yeah, this was the point where I discovered fanfiction. Before that, I had no idea about fanfiction, or I didn't really read them. But at this point, I might have been like 13, 14, I don't know. I discovered fanfic, and that's another one of the things that shaped who I am today. See, I'm tracing back. So what was it? So yeah. So after that, I think after that one came Voltron. And I was always like posting stuff, you know. I quit the Miraculous fan account and I made a Five Nights at Freddy's fan account. And then I made a Voltron fan account when Voltron happened. And I'm sure I'm missing a few shows in the middle. Hitalia. I used to watch anime. I don't anymore. Like I haven't in years. But I used to, because my friends back then used to watch anime, and it was I think I watched it mostly because the designs were like nice and it was flashy and colorful, and that was enough to keep me engaged. No, but after that, okay, somebody said something. Gumball. Oh my god. Oh my god, okay. Okay, hold on. Let me read it again. I want to understand. Okay, I don't know what it was. But it sounds bad. So I'm sorry about that. So yeah, Voltron. I had a Voltron fan account, and I don't know if I was that involved in the Voltron fandom space. I don't think I was. And I also wasn't really, which is a surprise, but I wasn't really reading the fanfics back then, which is pretty strange. Because generally when I get into a show, the first thing that I do is check on AO3. Yeah, when I was into Five Nights at Freddy's High School, I didn't really know, but no, I did. That's a lie. I did know about AO3, but I didn't really use it. First, because I did not speak any English back then, or like I spoke very little. Like I could say hello, and I could say the cat is under the table, you know, but I couldn't read a fanfic. And also, the AO3 fanfics are like more refined tastes, you know? But like, so where I used to read to get my fanfics was on Wattpad. Yeah, that was so good memories. So I used to write some fanfics for Wattpad too, and I remember one of them, which was a Five Nights at Freddy's one. It got really popular at one point. And by the way, the new people who joined the live stream, if you want, you can ask me whatever you want, or you can ask me to draw anything you want, because I'm just yapping on my own. So yeah, so one of the fanfics that I wrote became really popular, which at the time I was surprised. Then like 10 years later, and I left it like in the middle when things were getting good, and I left it because I left a fandom, and I was like, oh, there's no point. And then people were like, no, come back. And that's so mean, because I have had it happen to me like many times where I get very invested in a fanfic and then the author like disappears. So yes, that's karma. Oh, thank you guys. You're so nice. Hi. What was I saying? So yeah, so one of the fanfics got really popular, and I think it was a Freaky Friday type of story. So let's keep going. We're stuck here. After that, I got into Voltron. Yeah. And after Voltron, I don't really remember, because I might have been in Voltron times I was 17, right? So yeah, the next one, well, it might have been the Owl House. No, I'm missing something. No, okay. It was Voltron, then the next one was Cobra Kai, which isn't a cartoon, but it's the only real people show that I was really invested in. And then after Cobra Kai, or during Cobra Kai, because it was a really long, it lasted really long, it was the Owl House. Yeah, I think that's the correct timeline. I just wanted to say, as a fellow artist, thank you. You're so nice. Oh my god. Guys, actually, I cannot believe the amount of nice things that people have been saying about the pilot. I honestly, and I don't know if I should say this. I don't know the risk etiquette, but I'm gonna say it anyways. When I was making the pilot, I was making it just to prove to myself that I was able, like, to make something and finish it, because I had never done that before. Like every single project that I had before, I had left it like in the middle. But so I was making this one to like show myself that I could do something, like finish something, you know. But I never thought that so many people would like it. I didn't think that people would like it. In fact, I did plan the first season, but I didn't. But I left it because, yeah, in the summer we went like to the beach, right? And so I was away from the computer, so I couldn't be animating. And so I was like, okay, like I got nothing to do, let's come up with the first season. But I was just doing it to be silly. And so when I came back home, I left it. Like, but now I'm actually like, I picked up all of the things that I had done for the first season. I was like, okay, like, let me see what I came up with. Because I wasn't planning on actually making them, because I didn't know that people would want it, you know? And like some things about it I really liked. I liked a lot what I did with the orange ghost, the bully. I like what I did with her character, like what I came up with in the summer. So I kept that. But pretty much everything else I changed. Because I did it just to be silly, you know, but I'm serious now. Somebody asked something. I have a question. Why everybody... I don't know what to say. Okay. So what was I saying? Voltron? No, yeah, I've been like doing like writing and rewriting the first season ideas, because like this, as I said, this is the very, like, at this point anything could change about the story, you know? And so I've been trying out a lot of ideas, seeing how they work, and I feel like ultimately before I settle on like the ideas that I am 100% going to do, I'm gonna have to show somebody and ask them what they think, which is something, mind you, it's something that I didn't do. It's something that I didn't do when I made the pilot. Thank you, Jojo. That's so nice. Yeah, when I made the pilot, I didn't show it to anybody until it was done. No, that's a lie. That's a lie, because I forgot I did write the comic. But okay, before I wrote the comic, I didn't show anybody the story. I didn't show anybody the storyboards. I don't know why. Because I had some people that was like, I'm gonna show you, and then I would forget, and so I never showed them. But, and actually, like, well, I don't know how many of you guys have read the comic, but the thing about the comic is that, and the pilot, is that they're both like the same story, but they're both the same story, the same exact story, but the pilot is like a little bit more polished. I changed a few things about the story. So, and now I don't know, like, I don't really want people reading the comic, because there are like mistakes, you know, that I try to fix, writing mistakes that I try to fix for the pilot, but they're in the comic, like, there they are, right? But it's very interesting to like look back and see, because there are some things that I like changed because I genuinely thought they would look better, but there are some other things that I have no idea why I changed them. I just I don't know, because I didn't think like this is going to be better, but it's just going to be different, you know. Well, the first thing that I can think of is like the design of that one character that used to look like a hat but no longer looks like a hat. Like it didn't change anything, you know. Then what else? Okay, I'm trying to think of some ideas that I had for the pilot that weren't like really some ideas that I had for the comic that I never did or that I changed. Well, yeah, you know how the old lady, she was hired by Innocentia? When I came up with that, then I was like, okay, what if they have a past, you know? And when Innocentia was alive, they were actually like friends. And I came up with this whole story which involves two other characters, one of which you guys have briefly seen, but I can't talk about, and the other one you have never seen him at all, and I don't think you will, because I don't think there's room in the new story for him, but I really like him though. And they were going to be committing crimes together. And actually, you know what? Actually, that might very well be canon. I don't know, cause it wouldn't change anything, right? Hi, thanks for calling me a professional. That's interesting. That's nice. I'm trying to think of something else that I might have. Yeah, I don't know. Well, one very interesting, but like very, very big change is that Sei was going to be the antagonist in the beginning. Which I think I already said it on YouTube. But how would that have gone? Like, let's think. I mean, well, if you're going to do that story, I feel like Noah would have to like 100% be the MC, right? But I like their friendship. I really like their friendship, so yeah. So it's gonna stay this way. Can you imagine that, like, in the series they actually like become enemies? That'd be pretty crazy. That'd be pretty anti-climactic. And I don't know what else. So, what show did I what was the last show that I said? The Owl House, right? And what else? What came after the Owl House? I'm trying to think about it. Has Been Hotel, right? And yeah, that's the whole timeline. It actually, now that I'm, because when I think about the Owl House, I can't help thinking about like a very interesting thing about the whole, about my career as an animator, I think, which is that I was like, for a very brief, very, very strange period of time, I was actually going to quit animation, and I was going to, it sounds so random, but I was going to be an English teacher, guys. That was crazy. And I never in my life wanted to be an English teacher, mind you, but somehow I ended up in teachers training college, which is crazy because ever since I was a toddler I had known that I wanted to make cartoons, but yeah, I don't know, it's all in the journey, right? And so for like a year, during which I was like an Owl House fan, I was in teacher training college, about to become a teacher. Luckily that didn't happen. And now I'm about to start animation school in less than a week, so I don't know how that's gonna go. Like, oh my god, I don't know how that's going to go, honestly, because it's far away from home also, and it's the first time that I'm not moving, right? But every day I'm going to have to be like traveling for like an hour and a half to get there, which is cool. I like commuting, but I don't know, it's all very new, you know, so I don't know how that's going to go. So I hope it goes well. I'm glad that I made the pilot before entering animation school, though, because by making the pilot, I learned a crazy amount of things about my own animation process and my own limitations and what you call it, process is the word, right? That I didn't know before, because I had always been making like animations here and there, but I had never made such a big project. Even the pilots that I started and never finished, they weren't that big. And the last one that I tried to make before the Rose Garden Shock, which I officially stopped making it in like 2021. It was long. It was like, because I was making it wasn't even a pilot, actually. I was making like 5 full episodes that were tiny episodes, but the whole thing, I think it lasted almost 20 minutes. So that was the longest that I had ever animated, and it wasn't that, like, I was constantly copying and pasting the faces, the bodies. I was still like animating it on Krita, but it was like, it wasn't like the Rose Garden Shack, in which I literally was like redrawing the faces pretty much every single time that I had to draw the faces, right? I must have copied and pasted, but like very brief, like only like once or twice, you know. But other than that, yeah, so like I didn't really, when I decided to make the pilot, I wasn't expecting that I was going to be doing all that, because I didn't know that I could do that, you know. And I thought it was going to be a lot of work, which it was, but it was easier than I thought. Like, I thought it was going to be difficult, and it was not difficult at all. It was just time consuming is the word, because it wasn't even tedious, you know. I really enjoyed making it, but it was very time consuming. That's the thing. But making it wasn't difficult. It was mostly like intuitive, you know. And it's also not like this is like a professional thing. Like I was the only animator, guys, and I did it just to prove a point to myself. And I succeeded. So, okay, let's think about what was the most difficult part of making the pilot. So, I think the easiest part, but the most time-consuming of all of them, was animating. Animating was the easiest because it's like straight up the thing that I know how to do. You know, I'm not a producer, I'm like an animator. So it was easy, but also like it's what took the longest. Like especially the line art. The line art was what took the longest. Because the sketches, they didn't take that long, and the coloring also, yeah, it was quick, and also I was already like, I was pumped, like, oh my god, I'm about to finish it. So like I was doing it really quickly, and when I started the pilot and I was doing the sketches, like the storyboards, I was like, oh my god, new project. And so I had that high, and so I was doing it very quickly, right? But the line art took really long. But it was the easiest part, I think, about the pilot. Then something that I didn't think something that I thought it was going to be really difficult, but wasn't, was like synchronizing the mouths to the voices. I thought that was going to be really tedious, and I was like dreading it. But when it came time to do it, it was very quick, which shouldn't have surprised me, because at that point I was copying and pasting the mouths, because otherwise it would have looked weird, you know. So it was really quick, so I'm happy about that. Then one thing that I thought it was going to be easier, like, or quicker, but it was very time consuming was the backgrounds. Because some of the backgrounds I did very quickly. But and they don't look that good. Like, I mean, some of them are supposed to be simple, but for example, the background with the trees or the stuff in the basement or the house, the inside of the house, I really had to put a lot of like thought into that one because it had to be like aesthetic, you know. And so that one did take a little longer, but I'm very happy with the results, so that's pretty cool. Then what else? Yeah, okay. I would say if you asked me the most difficult thing that I did in the pilot, like the most actual difficult thing was editing the audio, the sound effects, the music, and all that, because that's like very far away from anything that I do at all, you know, because I'm an animator and a writer, so I mean, I guess everything is connected, sure, but it's not the kind of thing that I do as a hobby. It's the kind of thing that you gotta do because you gotta do it, you know. So and also I didn't take a lot of time with it. Like, you know, I had said the pilot is coming out on July 10th, right? The pilot was not done, okay, when I said that. But I knew that I had to like hurry myself up to like finish it already. So the moment where I finally was able to start editing the sound effects and the music, that was, guys, 2 days before the release. So I started editing the audio on, what would it be, July 8th, right, to post it on July 10th. And by the time that I was doing that, guys, I was so fried that I want to say I tried my best, but I don't think that was my best. But it was good enough. So like, you know, also I'm an animator. I'm not like, maybe if someday I make like a way bigger project, I'm gonna hire somebody for the sound effects and stuff, cause I'm not the guy for the job, guys. So yeah, so I thought, okay, the sound effects, I thought it was going to be easier. But the thing is, there were many sound effects that I had to add. So I guess I didn't take that into account. So I thought it was going to be quick, but it wasn't very quick. What's going on in the comments? Oh my god. And then what else? Well, something that was actually, that I thought it was going to be difficult and was difficult, but not difficult in the sense, like, it was, I knew that I wasn't going to do it, like, very good, and I was right, but I didn't get disappointed because I knew, was my own, like, voice acting. Like, I've never been a voice actress, guys. I decided to do Zai's voice because she was like the character that was going to have like the most lines, and like, honestly, to be completely honest, guys, I didn't write them. I didn't write the lines because I was going to change a lot of them from the comic, and I changed a lot from the comic. And when it came time to like do the like casting call, Zay's lines were so many that I was like, no, you know what, I'm just gonna do them myself, so I'm gonna write them later. So that's how it went. So yeah. And I mean, I don't know if I, like, because I remember when I was younger, I tried, like, twice to take acting classes, because it's very useful. I don't even remember who said it, but I remember somebody saying that animators should take acting classes, because that's going to make them better animators, because you know, like, how the body works or something like that. And I think it makes sense, right? And so I tried twice taking acting classes, but it's just, like, not for me, you know. And I wouldn't say I'm shy, but I don't know. I just don't have the talent for that thing specifically. but I mean, I should practice. If I'm gonna voice her in the first season, I think I'm going to have to practice, because now that I know that people actually like the show, I'm willing to put a little more work into it. When I made the pilot, I made it like, just like I made it so that it was good enough, you know, because I knew that if I kept being a perfectionist, I was never going to finish anything in my life. So it was the one time that I decided, you know what, whatever it looks like, if it's done, I'm gonna post it. And so that's what I did, because I didn't think people would watch it. Hi new people, hello. But people ended up watching it, so which was a surprise. But now that I know that people are going to watch the first season, I'm actually going to put in more work and actually like do something like really good, you know. And I can afford to be a little bit of a perfectionist at this point. I think I can do it, you know. I don't think I'm gonna quit the project just because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. So I think I'm going to do that. So yeah, but I'm still in the very like, I'm still outlining it. So I have to come up with some more ideas for that. Okay, what's going on in the chat? And then I don't know what else about the pilot. Also, guys, you were talking about husband. I mean, I think I just saw it. What happened with the new? Because I heard that there were like leaks. That there was like information about the new season that was leaked, that wasn't supposed to be out to the public. I didn't see it because I didn't really dig. But did you guys hear about that? Well, that's a thing that used to happen with Voltron all the time. I remember. I had never been in like a fandom before where so many leaks happened, right? Because that would happen all the time. I don't know who they had working with them that would be like spilling the tea, but that was the thing that would happen a lot back then. And then I remember the last one that I remember is the Owl House one, for the last season, right? For the last 3 episodes, which was the hunter one, like the hunter that was like, what you call it? Hunted is not the word. Possessed. He was possessed by the villain. And he had like the shirt with the wolves, and he had a crazy haircut. And if I'm not mistaken, but I think I am, like, I think he had horns, and he had like what was it, like blue eyes, like very very blue eyes or something like that. And I remember that people were saying like that image was leaked, and I was like of the people who would look at that and be like, guys, somebody clearly like drew that. I don't think AI was a thing back then. I mean, I don't think it was like a thing as it is right now. So my mind wasn't like somebody made it with AI, you know. I was like, somebody drew that, because like it doesn't look official. And then it ended up being official, and then it actually happened, and I was like, wow, I've been fooled. But at least because of my incredulity, I didn't get spoiled because I didn't think it was real. So when it happened, I was still surprised. Right? No, I mean, I was actually like the moment where in the episode where he has the shirt with the wolves on, I started thinking that it was real, because I was like, okay, that's a big coincidence. Like, how did how did they know about the shirt, you know? And well, it ended up being real. But well, that's the thing about spoilers, that I don't really mind them, you know? I remember when I used to read books when I was like a teenager, I used to first like read the ending, and then I would read the rest of the story like knowing the ending. For some reason, like not only did I not mind to get spoiled, I kind of liked it. Because it was like Megamind, where you see the end at the beginning and then you're like, okay, how did the story get there, you know? And so personally, I don't really mind spoilers, but I know some other people do, so I don't really spoil people. But for example, with the last Squid Game season, okay, that's another show with real people. I mean, bye. Oh yeah, I mean, I don't really think that I'm from the has-been community. Mostly because like right now I don't have as much free time as I used to when I was a teenager, and I was like in a lot of like fandom spaces. But I do look at the fan art from time to time. Well, actually, I wrote the Rose Garden Track comic because of a has-been picture that I saw. I saw a picture of like the very early designs of Alistair, and the comments, and it was so different from the current, you know, the current character. And in the comments, people were saying that it was from like it was from when Bibsy Pop was in high school, and I was like, wow, that was crazy. And so I had a moment, like a revelation, like, well, if like maybe she was just like me, you know. You know what I mean? Like maybe I can do that too someday. That's how it was inspiring to see that. So yeah. Okay, guys, I think how long have we been here, by the way? I don't know. I have no idea. 1 hour. Okay, guys. I think we should leave now. No, I should leave now because I have to pick up my brother from school, and I had kind of forgotten, but now I remembered. So, thanks everybody so much who came to the stream. This was super fun, and I hadn't done this in a while, but I'm gonna be doing it more often. I'm thinking the next time that I do a stream, we could actually do the thing that I had planned for the time before. We could like do the character sheets together, and you guys can tell me your ideas, right? And I'm gonna write them. Okay, but now I think that's it. Thank you so much for coming, and I love you.